Hi, today we are just going to be doing a short and sweet 15-minute hip opener, just release any tension there, get a nice deep stretch. So I want you to start on your mat. I'm going to take in a nice comfortable sit. We're going to draw up nice and tall here, and then I want you to think about tucking your pelvis under, so scooping and rocking back. So I'll show you from the side as well. So when I say scooping that pelvis under, what I want to happen is for you to think about taking the tailbone under and almost bringing it to your pubic bone and then pushing it back out. So we end up with a little bit of an arch, scooping it under and then back out. Good. So we're just going to do a few of these, scooping it under and pushing it back out. So think about sticking your bum out almost when you're doing that, and then tucking it under and pushing it back out. Good. We're just going to bring a little bit of movement into your pelvis, into that area already before we start. This is really good if you've been sat for a long time. Last little warm up as well before maybe working on some splits. Good. And then coming back to neutral, sitting up nice and tall. Just press your hips down for a minute. Take a couple of inhales. So we're going to inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Okay, so coming into your tabletop position. So hands directly underneath shoulders, knees directly underneath hips. And we're just going to move into some mobility here for our hips. So we are going to take the knee up and then draw a nice big circle. And we're going 3 in each direction. Good. And then we're going to reverse, take it out. Good. And then we're going to switch onto the other side. So one direction. Doesn't really matter which one you go first. I always feel like sometimes I go the opposite way with the other leg. And then flip around. Good. And one more. Nice. Okay, so from here, I'm going to step my right foot forward into a lunge. I want to really think about pressing this back hip down to the ground. So I'm squeezing through the back of my leg, my hamstring, squeezing through the glute. So really think about pushing that hip down to the ground. Front foot isn't stepped so far forward in front of my knee, pretty much underneath here. One nice straight angle, knee stacks over ankle. I'm going to bring my hands to the inside of my foot, tuck my back toes, and from here, I want to think about squeezing that hip flexor again, squeezing that quad. So by doing that, I'm thinking about straightening out through my knee, nice straight leg, and then I'm going to rock forward and back. So this is me moving onto like the tiptoes and pressing back. All the while, I'm squeezing so that my legs stay straight. So I don't want a micro bend. I don't want lazy leg here. Nice and straight and forward and back. Good. Keep that going. Nice. You should feel that back hip flexor. So right, hit that tiny little muscle there. Yeah, a little bit of a workout. Couple more. Nice. And then from here, you can take that knee down to the ground, untuck your toes, and I'm going to turn to face you. So my knee drops to the floor, and now I am in like a half frog pose. And then I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to rock forward and back. So if you come down onto your forearms, if you're open enough, or you can stay up on your hands, whichever you prefer. And then we're just moving forward and back. So now I'm just targeting my adductors a bit more, so onto my inner thigh. So you're feeling that stretch a little bit of a different place, but still working into those hips. If you feel like you can take your leg a little further away, get a little deeper, yeah, go for it. Good. A few more little rocks. Nice. And then I'm going to bend that straight leg, so I'm now in my frog. And I'm going to do a little few rocks here. Obviously, we haven't done much, so I'm not expecting to be really deep. Just wherever you feel is most comfortable. We're not worried too much about sitting in strong alignment because we are moving forward and back. Although I do still want to think about knees being in line with ankles. So I've got a nice straight line here, so I'm not kicking my foot out to the side. And then my hips are moving. Cats are getting involved. Hips moving back and forth. I'm not worried about leaving them sat. Okay, from here I'm going to turn to the opposite direction. So I'm going to push myself up, turn, and then coming into a lunge on the other side. So again, thinking about pushing that back hip down to the ground, so squeezing through your butt, through your glutes, through your hamstring, hands to the inside of my foot, tuck my back toes under, and squeeze in so my legs nice and locked out, no micro bends, no lazy legs, and forward and back with those rocks. Nice. Like I say, it's only going to be short and sweet today. Idea was a little warm up, or just if you need a little bit of a rest, if you've been sat all day. Some days I just feel like I've been sat too much. I've been working on bits and pieces. Good. Couple more. Especially the weather's been absolutely awful lately, so I've been sat and indoors a little bit more than usual, which I do not like. Drop that knee down. Start to turn. Sorry, that one's let's stand straight. What am I doing? Knee down and into your half frog. Hopefully you made that transition a little bit better than I did. And then we're going to go forward and back. Perfectly normal as well if one side's just feeling absolutely disgusting compared to the other. Happens to me. Happens to us all. Good. Forward and back. A few more. Nice. This, yeah, my adductors on this side, my inner thigh on this side definitely feels a lot tighter. Good, and then bending that knee in. And we just do a few more frog rocks here as well, back and forth. Maybe trying to go a little bit further forward this time, or pushing further back. Find your little sticky spots. Mine's definitely on the back rather than the forward. Just if you need to hold it for a split second and just open up a little bit more, go for it. Forward and back. Good. Okay, we're coming back to the first side into a lunge again. So our right foot's forward, left leg's back. And we're just going to hold this lunge here for a little bit. If you want to take your arms overhead, you can do that, so just straight up. So it just helps you kind of like put more weight into that hip, everything all being stacked here. So we're just going to hold that there. Let ourselves sink in. So we take a couple of breaths. So we're going to breathe in. And on the exhale, really try to push that hip further down to the ground. And breathing in. And back down. Good. One more. And back down. Good. Okay, we're going to bring the hands back to the inner inside of our foot again. And I'm going to roll my foot onto this outer edge. So I'm coming into a lizard's pose. So you can keep here on your up on your hands if you want to, or if you're comfortable, you can come down onto your forearms. And we're going to hold it there. Good. By now your hips should be starting to feel nice and open. Maybe feeling a little bit worked if they were that tight. Mine were pretty tight. Definitely been struggling with my hips lately. Good. Couple more seconds. And then pressing up, bring that foot back to flat. And from here, I'm going to turn my knee down and rotate onto the other side. So now left foot forward in my lunge. And if you had arms overhead the first time, let's try to do that again. So arms up. Hold it there for a second. Good. And then let's take nice 3 deep breaths. So we're going in. On the exhale, sink that hip down. Good. Nice. And again, inhale. Sink that hip down. One more. Let's go again. And sink that hip down. Good. Hands to the inside of your foot. Roll out to the outer edge of your foot and staying here or coming down to forearms, wherever you're comfortable. And let's hold it here. Hips hopefully going to love me. Hair's feeling a bit wild. Good. Holding it here for a few more seconds. Really nice work. And then pressing up to your hand, foot flat. Good. And we're just going to take that leg behind, and we are coming down onto our bums here. So I'm going to bring my feet out in front and try to slide on so you can see as well. The heels are flat. And from here, I'm literally going to drop my knees down and then to the other side. So a little bit of a reset. Also, I have a nice little hip crack there. Just resetting. Just giving a little bit of love. Good. So just getting into some mobility work, strength work, stretching, all into one short session. Good. Okay, from here, I'm going to leave my front leg forward and I'm taking my right leg behind. So I'm going to cut a 90-degree angle here on both legs. And this can be a little tricky, so don't worry if you don't get super high. I'm not expecting super high, especially the first time doing it. I want you to think about lifting that front leg up, but I don't be like, all the way here, that's cheating. We're trying to stay as upright as possible and lift, okay? And we're going to go for 8 on each side. Even if you're not getting a lift, as long as you're actively trying to lift, you're doing the work, okay? So sitting up nice and tall. Try to keep that back leg down. Don't let it kind of move with you. And from here, let's lift. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So exactly the same movement. And let's lift. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good job. Okay, we are just going to finish that all in a nice deep frog pose. Okay, so now we are really focusing on the alignment because we're not moving. So my knees are in line with ankles, my hips are in line with knees. Okay, so a nice straight line here, and I'm going to think about pushing my knees apart. And if you're happy here, if you've not got like a low frog for now, then you can stay here, or you can come onto your forearms, and you can even come down onto your chest. And we're just going to hold it here, okay? So we're going to finish up holding it here. Breathe into the stretch, okay? Don't let it defeat you. Of course, if it's painful at any time, come out. But if you're feeling a stretch, that's what we want. Pain, don't want. So I know sometimes frogs one, you either love it or you hate it. I personally love it because I can feel it working. So yeah, I love it. We're just going to do about 30 more seconds, okay? So not too much longer. Good. Really feeling those hips open. It's really good as well for like those inner thighs, which tend to get tight when our hips are all tight. That groin area. Good. If you're up on your hands, maybe you've like pushed your knees a little further apart and able to come into forearms. 5 more seconds. Learn to love it. Good. And then slowly making your way out of that. So you can pull yourself forward, like a swim, or you can come push yourself back out the way you came. We're just going to come onto our backs, hug our knees into our chest, and just have a nice little rock from side to side. Good work. Hopefully you feel a little bit looser in your hips. Don't feel as tight. If you've got time, you can go again. Or like I said, if it's just as little end of the day reset after being sat down, absolutely perfect for that as well. Or if you're starting to think about some handstand work, and you're trying to work on your straddle, headstand, handstand, or looking to work on your splits a little bit deeper, it's be a nice little warm up for that as well. Good job, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next class.